Man front, takes a snap and leaves it with his tailback straight up the middle. He'll have enough for the first down. It will be first and goal to go from the 4-yard line. Reagan with the carry again. He's carried the ball bulk of the last several plays. And so it's a first down and goal to go for Holmes. Elijah Davis will make the tackle. 42-0 EMCC on top. Clock is rolling in the third quarter, but they're a touchdown away from this thing stopping. It's the 38-point mercy rule. They call it the buddy rule here in Scuba. Was implemented several years ago because teams were just getting blown out and games were lasting a really long time. Willis is going to go up under center. Takes the snap, is going to pitch it to his wingback over on the left side, who's going to walk into the end zone as he went to the far pylon. Touchdown, Holmes. And making the touchdown is Parks Poe. He's a freshman who was the wingback off the right tackle. He went in motion. They faked the give to the tailback, then pitched it to the man in motion, and he goes into the end zone, and that's some really good play calling. So, okay, that's what Holmes wanted to do. They came in, and they looked settled down and relaxed on that offensive drive. So they get in for the touchdown. It's 42-6, so now stop the clock with 8:22 to go here in the third quarter. Coming on to attempt the PAT is Moffitt. High snap pulled down. The kick is through the uprights, good. And it's 42-7. EMCC football when we return in 30 seconds. This is the EMCC Football Network. On the pitch to Parks Poe, who gets into the end zone. He was in motion from right side to left and took the pitch in stride and then walked to the far pylon. And so EMCC is about to have this kick to them. They'll have their return men stand inside the 10-yard line. Zach Patterson will be at the 9. Kadarius Callaway, the Alabama transfer, will stand between the hash of the numbers around the 11-yard on the right side. So Moffitt comes up on the football, and it's a short kick, fair catch, call for at the 38 over on the right side. And making the fair catch is Barnett. And now we have a little bit of extracurricular activity going on between the 45 and the 50-yard line. And so that's all been sorted out. There's no penalty flags, and with 8:22 on the clock here in the third quarter, EMCC is going to go to work. They'll have it at their own 38-yard line, moving right to left. So obviously you want to get those points back and you get that clock rolling again. And EMCC, they look really good in about a 3-minute stretch there in the second quarter.
Yeah, you know, Jason, I don't know. You know, Coach Stevens wants to play a lot of defensive players, so I don't know if we had all our starters in there, if we had some second, third team guys in there on that first drive. The way Holmes moved the football, I'm not sure. Now they're trying to straighten up the chain over there. I think he got hung up, but now they'll get that straightened out as we get things set for play again.
Jamari Jones, your quarterback for the Lions. Twin receivers near side. Twins to the right. Here's the snap looking near side, and it's calling at the 40-yard line and getting a couple more yards after catch. That's Jantarius Henderson, who's going to bring it up to the 44-yard line. So that's going to be a gain of 6 on the play. Zach Morris will corral him and knock him off his feet at the 44. So that'll bring up now a second down and a long 5. Or short, because that was a gain of 6. That's a second down and 4 situation. Here's the snap from the shotgun. They're going to leave it with Perryman. Goes off right tackle. A nice sort of open field tackle as he gets out across the 45 up to the 47. Duke Arnold will knock him off his feet for Holmes. But that's a first down saving tackle, and that'll bring up now a 3rd and 1 after the gain of 3 by Zias Perryman. So 3rd and 1, ball placed middle of the field. They're up at the 46.5-yard line. Got to get to the 47 for a first down. Jones high snap, pulls it down at the face mask. He's going to keep it himself around the right side. It's a first down and more. It's inside the 50-yard line. Started running laterally on the 50 from right to left. And then cuts downfield to the 47-yard line. Cameron Jennings will knock him off his feet there, and it's a first down for the Lions with 7:04 and rolling here in the third quarter. 42-7, EMCC on top. They're going to go up tempo here, Glenn, with twin receivers either side. They look back to David Boykin, who's giving them his sign. With the play he wants them to run, Jones gets his back, who's flanked off to his right set. That's Perryman. He'll fake the give to him, throws it to Patterson on the screen pass right side. Patterson's able to get inside the 45, down to about the 43-yard line. Duke Arnold will make the tackle. That's going to be a gain of about 5 on the play, so that will bring up a 2nd and medium, 4 yards officially, as they spun it around the 43-yard line. So 2nd down and 6 after the 4-yard gain on the pitch and catch from Jones to Patterson around the right side. Ball placed on the right hash, moving from right to left. Trips near side, single receiver over on the right. Takes the snap. Jones is going to try to go on the post play, the skinny post, and it's complete. There's a penalty flag, I believe. Isn't that pass interference on Holmes?
Well, I don't know if they're going to call that or if they'll call lined up in the neutral zone, as the corner was pressing the wide receiver, but he was in the neutral zone from my vantage point right here. So let's see but they are going to call pass interference. They could go either way there.
So it is pass interference. It was Duke Miller who made the reception. The spot of the football is going to be inside the 35 down to the 34-yard line after the pass interference call on the Holmes Bulldogs with 6:06 to go here in the third period. 42-7.
They gave him credit for the catch. Wow.
Yeah. Trips left. Single receiver to the right. Perryman off to the right of Jones as they move from right to left. He has inside pressure. Escapes the pressure by rolling out of the pocket near side and throws it incomplete at the 8-yard line. He had Barnett at the 5, so it was short of him. And that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10. Clock will stop with 5:58 to go in the third. So 2nd down and 10, as mentioned, from the 34-yard line of Holmes, moving right to left. We welcome you if you're listening on radio or watching on the EMCC Athletics feed. It's great to have you back on the Athletics feed. We haven't had it the last 2 weeks. Trips near side, bubble screen, and it's caught by Henderson. Slips down at the 35, but gets back to the line of scrimmage with the football at the 34, so it's going to bring up now a 3rd and 10. Play call was great, just slipped down.
That could have been a big play. We've seen that play several times tonight go for big yards, and he just slipped down. I don't know if maybe some dew starting to fall a little bit or what. We'll check with Chris, see if the surface is getting a little slick down there. But that was a rare slippage right there.
Trips right, single receiver near side. Jones to the shotgun, barely lifts that right leg. He has great protection, unloads, fires it across the middle, though, and it's complete to Barnett for a first down inside the 25 down to the 23-yard line. Kevin Barnett will make the reception. Silicon Hill will knock him off his feet. That's enough for Lions first down. Chris, well, we'll get to you after this play. They're going up tempo here, ready to snap it with twins either side. Jones takes a snap from the 23 of Holmes, inside handoff, and Perryman is going to be corralled. And Glenn, we see the yellow laundry coming out on the field, and let's go down to Chris on the sidelines. Chris, first of all, what's the call? Is Glenn right? Is that a face mask? And how slick is this field?
That's exactly what it's going to be, Jason. It's going to be a face mask call. As far as the playing surface, you can tell a difference from the first half up until now. I noticed as the band was coming off the field at halftime that you could see more and more of their footprints and what they were using as far as equipment. But you can tell a difference on this playing surface now. It is starting to get a little slick.
Yeah, with the cooler temperatures and that dew point. Thank you, Chris, for that on the sidelines. Jamari Jones and company now after the penalty yardage has been marked off down to the 11-yard line. They could get a first down just inside the 1. Jamari Jones trips near side, takes the snap, surveys the field, rolls right as inside pressure, throws it towards the end zone. Caught by Miller. Duke Miller just reaches out and grabs it on the side of the end zone right side. Yeah, Duke Miller, not Hines. And so the clock rolls again. 4:16 and rolling here in the third quarter.
And that's the drive you want to see coming back after giving up a score. And, of course, too, that's your first offensive possession of the second half, and you want to see that as well. So the team come out and marched it down the field, did a great job in finding the end zone for the Lions.
Snap is back. The hold is good. The kick as well is good. And it's 49-7 after the PAT. Duke Miller with the reception just a moment ago for a touchdown from 11 yards out. 9 plays, 62 yards, 3 minutes and 57 seconds off the clock. We'll be back in a moment with the kick to the Bulldogs. We'll see if they can answer. 3:32, 3:30 and counting. This is the EMCC Radio Network. I hate that cannon. Yeah. Javante what? On top as they sky kick it from right to the left side. Fair catch called for, and I'm going to get it right this time at the 35-yard line. And fair catching that one is Jamarian Stewart. And so Holmes will begin at their own 35-yard line. 2:30 and counting in the third quarter. I gave you the time a moment ago. I didn't give you the quarter, so it was 3 minutes left when we went to the break. So Holmes is going to have it at their own 35, moving from left to right. Our broadcast next week will be at Northwest. And Glenn, I haven't checked the time. Usually at Northwest it's a 6 o'clock kick. Gavin? Robert, y'all know?
Man, I'm one day at a time
We'll check it out. Here's the snap by Willis, fakes the give, drops back to pass, throws it over the middle. Had a man there at the 35 of EMCC, but it falls incomplete. On in defense was Cam McCullum. The intended receiver was Joshua Jones for Holmes, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 10 from their own 35 with 1:45 and ticking here in the third quarter.
Moon starting to rise over Sullivan Wyndham Field across the way there as it's going. We had a full moon a few nights ago, and now it's on its way back out, and just beautiful.
Willis with the snap on 2nd and 10. Option play left side, keeps it as he goes up the numbers to the 40. I think the ball's on the ground, and EMCC is going to pick it up somewhere between the 45 and 50-yard line, and going around the right side and being horse-collared, I believe, around the 45 is going to be Jeremy Mack Jr., who picked up the fumble. Now we see penalty flags everywhere. Is that a horse collar, Chris?
Yeah, it's going to be a horse collar. Mack just picked that ball up off the ground. He run laterally over toward EMCC sideline, then turned around and made his way back over to the home sideline, then just got horse collar.
I didn't see the horse collar. Y'all did, but it might be a block in the back, too, right around that same area. So we'll keep our fingers crossed right here. But East Mississippi should maintain possession.
They will.
That was after, all of that was after the fumble.
We want to credit Stephen Catledge Jr. for knocking that fumble free of Jordan Willis.
I haven't seen the white hat give the signal yet.
Here we go. That's well, Chris,
the one you said.
Yeah. Yep. See, Glenn, when the flags were thrown, Glenn groaned, and I was just watching the horse collar.
That's what I had my eye on too, as after he picked the ball up.
So they'll have possession, but at their own 40-yard line, moving from right to left. That'll end the third quarter. We'll put 15 minutes on the board and start it counting in just a moment. 49-7. Our score, EMCC on top of Holmes here in the fourth game of the season. EMCC trying to remain undefeated. We'll be back to Scuba in a moment. This is the EMCC Football Network. From the right side to the left side, EMCC moving left to right now as they've put 15 minutes on the clock. They're not going to start the clock until the official winds it, so we're ready to go. It's a running clock because EMCC is on top by 38. Back to pass, pump fakes, fires it near side. Stewart, he's the new quarterback. He's going to find Joshua Aka out across the 45, and he's going to kind of freeze.
Actually, that's going to be K.J. Lawrence.
Oh, it's K.J. Lawrence, I'm sorry. It's 43, not 13. Lawrence catching it out of the backfield. As you mentioned, Ladarius Knighton is going to drop him off his feet around the 47. Ball placed near hash, moving left to right. Damon Stewart out of Oak Grove High School, the new quarterback. Trips bunched up around the left hash. He'll have K.J. Lawrence flanked off his right shoulder. He'll receive the snap chest high, and he's going to leave it with Lawrence. No, he keeps it himself and then tries to go down the near hash and gets to the 41-yard line. So he's going to gain 6 there. Jordan Milton will make the tackle, and it's going to bring up now a 2nd down and 4.
Not going to waste any time. They want to get these guys some reps as well, as that clock will continue to roll and not stop. So they want to get them as many reps as possible.
Same formation as last. Chest high snap, screen pass left side to Lawrence from Stewart, and he's going to be popped in the mouth around the line of scrimmage, but does dive down to the 40-yard line at the far hash. There's a couple of white shirts there to come in to make the tackle, and that'll bring up now a 3rd down and 4. Making the tackle is Les Hewitt. He's the one credited leading the charge there.
You've got Connor out there at wide receiver, and he was the guy that missed the block out wide on that quickie right there. If he makes his block, they may take it all the way.
So it's 3rd down and 3 officially from the 40-yard line. They've got to get down to the 37, and they're not going to get there. Screen pass on the left side.
Yeah, he did the same thing on that. He whiffed on his block. If Connor blocks his guy, you've got to play because the way they were playing you defensively. And now it's going to be 4th and 1.
Carl Robinson made the reception, couldn't get the first down. Hill with the tackle.
And that's a shame because Ethan Connor, he's a big guy. He's 6'4", 225.
He'll come to the sideline. Stewart will be back at quarterback. Trips bunch between the hashes here on the near side, and now nowhere to go for Stewart, and he is going to be sacked and dropped for a big loss back at the 46-yard line. And that's Jordan Milton who's going to lead the charge, and all of a sudden he looked like he was shot out of a cannon, and that's a turnover on down, so Holmes will get it back, and they'll get it at their own 46-yard line.
Yeah, that snap a little bit to the left of the quarterback. Kind of got in between the quarterback and the running back, so he wasn't able to. It messed up the timing of the whole play. So, but going back to Connor, he's that big. He's listed as a quarterback, but he could be that big physical receiver like Dontario Drummond a couple years ago.
So, new quarterback in there. We'll check that in a moment as he takes the snap and hands it off to his tailback. Goes around the right side, fumbles it at midfield. Who falls on it? The EMCC says they have it, but we have to wait and see what the official says. And it looks like it's going to be Holmes who's going to fall back on it. New quarterback, by the way, is Tyvez Tate, a freshman quarterback from Puckett, Mississippi. So it's going to bring up now a 2nd and 7. They're going to say went down at the 49-yard line, and that was Johnson.
5'9", 170-pounder out of Puckett.
Johnson's going to check out. Here's the snap. They leave it on the ground and going straight between the tackles and getting down to the 47-yard line. And that's going to be Marion Fells. Well, Ty Johnson's going to make the tackle. So a 3-yard gain. And I beg your pardon, that was Johnson. I thought I saw Johnson trot out, and I thought I saw 36 was back there. So those numbers are starting to get hard for me to see as the night goes on and the lights are reflecting.
And we get older.
And we get older, that's the main thing. 3rd down now and 4 from the 47 rather.
Uh-oh.
That's a false start, and they're not going to call it. Here's the snap, and Tate's going to give it on the inside give. So between the tackles, it's going to get down to the 47. Ronnie Randall Jr. is going to knock Johnson off his feet.
They let the illegal procedure slide, so now to be 4th and 3.
And they're going to go for it.
Goodness gracious. And I understand, but Lord have mercy. I mean, you know, things like that.
Wingback in motion from left to right. They fake the pitch to him, and diving down the numbers towards the first down is Tate. I think he may have it. It depends on the spot. Stephen Catledge Jr. is going to knock him off his feet. They're going to say it's a first down, so it will move the chains. 9:49 and counting to go here in this fourth quarter of play. It's 49-7 EMCC on top. Holmes has the ball down to the 44-yard line. So it's a first down and 10 to go situation. Tate comes up under center. He'll send his man in motion. He's going to give it to his back, who goes straight up the middle. And getting down inside the 40 around the 39-yard line. And that's Matthew on the carry. Ty Johnson will make the tackle for EMCC. So Matthew with 3 yards down to the 40-yard line officially. It's a 2nd and 6 situation. Tate with the snap. Looks like the right side got a early start. Now Tate's running for his life. There's red jerseys everywhere, but Tate's going to tuck it, come around the near side. It's going to be tripped up around the 35. He gets down to about the 34. He's going to be close to a first down again. Joshua Short will knock him off his feet after he reversed his field, and they're going to say it's a first down. Well, I thought he had to get a little bit more than that, but nonetheless, it's a first down for the Bulldogs with 8:36 and counting.
They did a great job defensively to the play side, but when he reversed field, there was nothing there to outside contain. So he was able to get across the first down marker, across the 35, down to about the 34. Generous spot, too, but either way, you got to keep that backside contained for when he reverses field, and that's exactly what happened.
Twin receivers here on the near side. Tate's going to go up under center, and they'll snap it from the 34 of EMCC, and they leave it on the ground. That's 15. That's Kendarius Smith, who is going to dive. 14, I beg your pardon. That's Reagan. So making the tackle is Bo Davis. After a 2-yard gain, it'll bring up a 2nd and 8. Holmes will break huddle around the 35. They come up on the football at the 32. Moving right to left on 2nd and 8. Reagan in the backfield. Reagan is not going to take the ball as Tate's going to keep it himself around the right side and slithers through some folks inside the 30s. He goes down the numbers to the 29-yard line. He's going to be tripped up there by Ty Johnson. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and medium situation. So that was a gain of 3 on the play. 3rd down and 5 from the 29-yard line. The 24 is where the marker is. And Holmes taking their time. There's 17 on the play clock. 7:03, 7:02 and counting. 49-7 is our score. Holmes on top, up under center. Taking the snap is Tate. He's going to drop back to pass as pressure floats it over the middle. Intercepted by EMCC at the 16-yard line. And that's Jeremy Mack Jr. with his 3rd interception of the season, and they're going to corral him back at the 15. So he'll technically lose a yard on the play after the interception, but EMCC won't have it at their own 15. Jeremy Mack Jr., the 3rd pickoff of the season.
They're going to spot it at the 25, so, or actually on the 15. 15 I'm sorry.
We're hearing we're hearing 25 be yelled out here, but that's between our spotter and statistician. They know what they're talking about. So from the 15, EMCC will have it, moving left to right, 6:10 and counting here in the fourth quarter. 49-7 is our score. Bringing the man in motion, and they try to hand it off to him on the sweep play, but it's incomplete because he didn't hand it off. Stewart tossed it to him. He was trying to find Robinson. He brought him from the slot receiver position, kind of that Florida speed sweep.
All right, let me ask you this, guys, all-knowing football guys. They're running the jet sweep like that, all right, and if they don't toss it, but they hand it from in front, is it a handoff or is it?
It's a handoff, yeah.
So if he pulls up and passes it, it's legal. Okay. But if he'd have tossed it, it'd been a double pass.
Yeah, gotcha.
Illegal forward pass.
Twin receivers either side, 2nd and 10 from their own 15. Slip screen near side, caught and immediately dropped around the 14-yard line. That's Tommy Johnson who makes the reception, and Jordan Milton will knock him off his feet. We've called Jordan's name out an awful lot here lately, with 5:10 remaining here in this game. 49-7 is our score. 3rd down and 11 after the loss of 1, back to the 14-yard line. Jones in the shot, or Stewart, I beg your pardon, in the shotgun. Trips bunched up around the far hash, across the way from us. Moving from left to right, raises his right leg, takes a snap at the knees and corrals it, has inside pressure, avoids the pressure by rolling left, squares, fires back across middle of the field, dangerous pass, broken up around the 33. Kind of reminded me of Brett Favre throwing off his back foot across the way in the NFC Championship game when the Saints ended up kicking a field goal to win it, because Minnesota was set up to kick a field goal to win that thing. And Brett Favre threw an interception as last pass as a quarterback. 4:18, clock rolling, so it's 4th down and 11, and EMCC is going to punt it away. Peyton Rogers will come out, and guys, correct me if I'm wrong, is this his first punt? Peyton Rogers' first punt tonight?
Yeah, I don't remember him punting any more than this one.
So Peyton Rogers comes into this game averaging 37 yards a kick, and he's going to bounce it at the 40. It's the EMCC 40, and the Lions are going to touch it and then pick it up. Learning a valuable lesson.
Hand it to the referee.
Yes, he held on to it for a moment. They whistled it down, though, before he picked it up. And I think that's what Mississippi State was anticipating. But it didn't happen.
Yeah, 22-yard punt, no return.
So after the 22-yard punt and no return, they will have it at the 36, they being Holmes, moving right to left with 3:24 to go in this one. We'll have quick words from Buddy Stevens afterwards on a short postgame show. Snap by Tate, and he rolls to the near side on the option, and he's going to be popped at the 35 and dropped after a yard gain. And that's going to be Jeremy Mack Jr. is going to make the tackle.
I think he came up with a little bit of a stinger right there as he comes to the sideline. He delivered a heck of a blow, but
it's the first cool night, too. How much does that have an effect when you're out there popping pads? Have you been used to it being hot?
Yeah, it depends on how cool it is.
They're probably warm. They're not as cool.
They're probably pretty comfortable right now, but if it gets on down there to about 19, then it's painful.
Snapping it from the 35. He'll leave it with Reagan, who dives forward down to the 33. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long situation for Holmes. Stephen Catledge Jr. will make the tackle. Ball will be placed towards the near hash on a 3rd and 7 after the gain of 3 by Reagan. Holmes going a little slowly here, trying to end this one with 2:13 and counting to go in this game. It's been a running clock for a majority of this second half. It stopped briefly after Holmes on their first possession scored a touchdown. They came all the way down the field and scored on the opening possession of the second half. Tate up under center will take the snap, hands it off to his tailback right side. He's going to maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, not much more than that if he did, so it's going to bring up a 4th and long, and Keyshawn Lawrence will make the stop for EMCC. 1:46 and counting, 49-7, EMCC on top, about to go to 4-0. They're 11th in the country. Mississippi Gulf Coast is the highest-ranked MAC school at number 5. Jones at 9. Northwest at 14, so it'll be a top 15 battle next week. One thing we haven't been able to do this, well, I guess
I can give you some scores.
Yeah, give us some scores, please, because we're using my phone for this broadcast.
Absolutely. Colin on top of Pearl River, 41-13 in the 3rd, and Holmes is going to try 49-yard field goal.
Moffitt with the attempt, high snap, they pull it down. It's a sidewinder that's going to be off to the left and low, and it's no good. They were trying to get some points on the board. It's 49-7, and that's going to be the final score with 1:06 to go. Clock is counting. EMCC coming to the near side to.
So some more scores here. 24-6, Northwest over Northeast. East Central is behind Southwest 13-7 in the South, and Itawamba gave up their 3rd quarter lead to Jones. Jones leading 35-17 now. And Hines leading Gulf Coast 36-34 in the 4th quarter.
So it's a 1st down and 10 to go for EMCC. Hines leading Gulf Coast. I'm good friends with the defense coordinator from Hines, John Hendrick, the former head coach at Jackson State.
Is he there? Okay,
yeah,
right.
He's the defense coordinator there. And EMCC goes off right tackle, getting out across the 35 up to about the 36-yard line. That'll bring up a 2nd down and long with 14 seconds to go. Darian Washington will make the tackle. And now both teams will just get out on the field to go through the handshakes. 4 seconds, 3 seconds, 2, 1. It's in the books. 49-7 as the horn sounds to end the game. EMCC goes to 0-4. Holmes drops to 0-4 on the season, and that sets up a assured top 15 battle next week in Senatobia, Mississippi, as they take on Northwest. We'll have the kick time coming up in a moment. Right now, we're going to take a 2-minute timeout. We'll come back with some stats, some analysis, and we'll hear a final word tonight from Buddy Stevens. And then we will close things out here in Scuba, Mississippi. So Holmes will go back to Goodman 0-4. EMCC will stay here.